Hi guys, so I'm going to make a video tonight. Lot going on. There's been a lot going on. I got my Biden nails. I got blue. They may look purple in the video, but they are blue. Maybe you can see them. I had to get it done. I had to. Some of you guys just like to see what kind of nails I have on in videos, but yeah, I got Biden blue. I was very happy to do that. There's going to be a lot going on, just to kind of let you know, because I've been watching news and I knew this was going to happen. I'm not worried about January 20th, but what goes down, okay, over the next couple months to get there is going to be bumpy, bumpy, bumpy. I will tell you that. Exactly what the bumps are, well, we're going to talk about a little bit tonight. But I want you to remember, it's going to get bumpy. There's going to be rumors of a coup. There's going to be various things. But one of the things I want you to understand is Spirit is in charge. Never forget that. Never forget that. Even if you're a Trump supporter, but you are a Christian, you know Spirit's in charge. Spirit's always in charge, right? Okay. So we may not agree, with what's going on, but we can all at least acknowledge Spirit is in charge. And your faith is going to be tested. You may even feel abandoned over the next couple months because, there may be some bad things. Today he was hiring and firing people, and then people are resigning at the Pentagon. And then Mike Pompeo came out and made a little crack about 4 more years of Trump, the Trump administration. That made people a little bit nervous. So there's a lot of coup rumors going on. Okay, people are nervous. People are nervous. And Mary Trump made a statement. I was watching a video of her, that she feels that he's going to take down America. Trump's going to take down America. Maybe he's unhappy. And, he just wants to punish us all because he lost. I wouldn't be surprised. This is like the narcissist boyfriend. You moved in. He was all sweet and fine in the beginning, right? He seemed like he'd be the one. You move him in and he's a terror. He's a holy terror. He's verbally abusive. He's awful. He's cheating on you. He's doing all these things. He's stealing your money. And they're like, you got to get out. And then on his way out, okay, I'll leave. And then he starts tearing up all your shit, breaking your TV and smashing the good china. First he didn't want to leave, of course, but then he's like, okay. And he's going to smash everything. He's going to make your life a living hell. His one last, thing to you, to stick it to you. So some people are a little worried about that, and I kind of, what I feel is that Trump knows his time is short. Okay. He's seeing, like I said, when I talked to you guys on the other video, the lawyers, I'm sure, have talked to him, because this is not a couple hundred votes like Bush and Gore, which I've told you, ad infinitum, I've told you that. He's thousands, okay, ahead in these states that are still counting. Biden's ahead by thousands. The American people have spoken, right? So flipping these states and all that, or expecting the Supreme Court to just disregard the election, they have to prove fraud. They got a sticky note, okay? They got a sticky note from somebody in the ballot place claimed there's fraud on a sticky note. These people, they're not very good at creating the conspiracy. So, but anyway, so the point is, it's going to be bumpy. The next couple months, you're going to see some behavior, because this is what it is. This is the narcissist boyfriend that you moved in that you thought would be a good guy. When you're telling him you got to go. And what is he? This is when he starts wreaking havoc. This is when he starts talking bad to your friends and family. This is when he takes your nude photos and he starts sending them to everybody. Okay, this is where he's going to try to ruin you. So I feel he's going to try to ruin America. Let's do a read on it, though. Let's see what's going on. What can we look forward to the next 2 months? But that's kind of how I feel. Let me see. Let me get this one out of the way. That's kind of how I feel, is he's going to be the narcissist boyfriend I feel he's mad at everyone. I feel he's even mad at the supporters that they didn't, I'm serious. I think he's mad at even the people who voted for him. He's not sitting there like, thanks guys, at least you tried to vote for me. No. I feel like, and see the love card, there are people that love him, but I feel like he's disappointed they let him down. That's kind of, I have this kind of feel he's got an attitude. Like, you know, I went to all these rallies and I was talking to all these people, and they, you know, what did they do for me? You know, they didn't get me elected. They let me down. Okay, so you know, let's see. Let's just see what Spirit says. I'll just be quiet for a minute and focus. The next 2 months, Spirit. So the very first card is a sorrow card. So we talked about that a little bit, that Trump is very sad. Okay, he is very sad. But this is not to his soul. I would say the sorrow is more to his ego. His ego is very hurt. This is a sorrow card. This is a Three of Swords. So that's the very first card. So he's not in a good place, guys. He's not in a good place. And I know some people are like, you know, we should go easy on his feelings and things like that. No, let him face his karma. We're not going to shield him from his karma right now. I'm not worried, you know, this is ego feelings. This is not as much necessarily the heart. Notice this is one of the cards without a heart in it. Okay, I'm using a deck where the sorrow is the Three of Swords, but the heart is not in it. At least the big heart. They've got little funny ones, but they're yellow. So we've got the Lust card. Okay, no surprise. Okay, so the thing is, okay, he's sad. This wasn't a clean win, right? And stuff. But we've got that lust for power. It has not died. So he's still trying to figure out what he can do here. Now, if he can't be president, how can he still hold power outside of the presidency? And there is some little things I kind of heard he's trying to do, but that's part of the campaign funds. He's trying to get a little money for things like that, and the legal fund, but he's trying to raise money. And now this is especially what I was focusing on this card tonight on a meditation read, but the debauch card. Okay, the debauch. This is what we would, you know, it's like the 7 deadly sins. You know, this extreme indulgence of what has been going on. You know, this has really been the administration. But I look at this, I am focusing on the next 2 months, okay? So I feel we're going to kind of see a little bit more of that. You know, we're gonna see some underhanded things. I feel like some of it's going to be financially, trying to get money from the American people. I have a feel there'll be some deals, yeah. And I just drew the Knight, and I've been seeing this one too, the Knight of Pentacles, really trying to get out there and try to raise money. I feel you're going to see some last-ditch efforts to get money from the American people in unusual ways, you know, to try to fund something. Maybe if I can't be president, I could start an organization doing things with the political. So I kind of feel like he wants to stay in the political game in some way, because you have to understand he made a lot of money and stuff like that. So then we've also got the Sun. So I kind of look at this, and everything is, he sees the joy and the happiness of the American people. And I feel, you know, and look at the contrast. We've got the sorrow card, right? You know, his ego has been hit. But kind of look at that. He's like, people are gloating that I lost. You know, this is upsetting to him. This is upsetting. The dancing in the street. Now, I do look at the Lovers card. The Lovers especially can be about choices. You know, one of the things that we had is Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, right? You know, they made various choices. So I kind of feel like, he chose at one time, kind of what side to be on. He chose that kind of life of sin and so forth. So that's kind of how I feel. He made some choices. Now I look at the star. I feel in this case this would be appropriate in the sense that I've been watching another tarot reader, and the star for her is America. Okay, think of it, the star about the hope. And a lot of people have hope in America. So this is taking the crown here. Getting back to what is America really about? And do we need to redefine a few things? But we want to do it in a good way. But there is still principles, that are very virtuous about America. I know some people, America kind of takes a beating because obviously with the Native Americans and slavery and things like that, those things get brought up. But there are still ideals with America that are very positive and good, you know. And obviously, even the Statue of Liberty, give me you're tired, you're poor, and so forth. So there are still values that are good, but one of the things is the people rule. We don't have a dictator telling us what to do. That is a huge one. That we can elect our leaders. That is really huge. I feel like people don't realize how huge that is. Sure, there's always somebody trying to stain the system and so forth. But I look at that star, that really makes me feel the hope for America. I feel like people are hopeful we can get to the happy place, and people are cheering. People are very happy right now. And but they are, the next 2 months, a little worried about what's going to go down. Are we going to be okay? And yes, of course, we're just exhausted, the justice and so forth. There will be some court things over the next 2 months. You're going to see them. So far, everything's getting thrown out, though. And so far, things are getting thrown out. You got to have evidence. And there's just no evidence of anything here. There might be a few ballots. You might see, a few got tossed here or there. But I don't think it'll be anything really significant. Especially, Biden has the popular vote by like, what was it, 5 million, I believe. And then they're still counting. They're still counting, and it's still going up and up. So I feel like, that is kind of the thing we're going to see over the next 2 months, how all this plays out. And then this is positive, the change. This is what we want deep down. And this is in the self position for everyone. Everyone wants change. I would hope you want change in a positive direction. We just want things to get positive, make coronavirus go away and things like that. So I've got the Hierophant. Now this is what I kind of feel. And I've been really kind of meditating on it. And I kind of talked to you a little bit about, sometimes, I'll read the scriptures and various things. But kind of getting back to a sense of, what is right, what is wrong, what is good, and doing the right thing and having some kind of values, just kind of like the Hierophant, he has those spiritual teachings and so forth. What are those lessons that are incorporated into the marrow of our bones that we know the difference between right and wrong? What got us like this? What got us with this debauch? And I have said before in video, we created him. I do believe that, this strange, I'm not saying I'm against capitalism, do not get me wrong. As a matter of fact, I'm for it. And even when people have talked about breaking up the real big companies, I actually am like, my philosophy is if that person, like, say, Jeff Bezos, started a company out of his garage and made it into something massive, who are we to take it away from him? I know it could be a monopoly type of situation. And I know we got, laws against that. But at the same time, isn't that his baby? Isn't that his creation? Isn't that what about America is about? If he is successful for something, then we're going to take it away from him. So, I'm not like that. But, at the same time, the way wealth has been distributed in various things, I feel like, people, the middle class, and, we need more opportunity. I do think that, community colleges should be free. There's no reason why we got to milk people for thousands upon thousands in a community college. At least let people, because education, if you have a bunch of ignorant people in the country because they can't afford to college educate themselves, then how are we going to get these doctors and nurses and, the various people out there, to educate them, the lawyers, just various things, if we're, making education too expensive, that only the very rich can do that, that's not fair. We need everybody to have a shot at an education. Okay, so I kind of went on with that, but especially getting back, our morals and our values, our sense of right and wrong, and it not being so confusing and skewed and everything. It's like, it's kind of like that movie KPAC a long time ago. Everybody in the universe knows right from wrong. They really do, deep down at their core. So I know, and I speak to a lot of women. I have been seeing Queen of Wands. I've been seeing Queen of Wands a lot over my reads tonight. She keeps popping up for me. And I feel like I do speak to a lot of people, about 85% women in my group. And definitely Spirit wants those spiritual leaders out there, getting out there. And I feel like one of the things, and I feel this is the reason for the Queen of Wands. I talked to you guys when I was doing my readings before Kamala, got voted in and everything. But even before she was announced, that I felt a strong feminine presence coming in. And one of the things, the states are, we're starting to get more women in there. But I feel this thing that Spirit wants more women, and I feel like that's the reason the Queen of Wands keeps showing, is Spirit wants women leading and getting out there and bringing more of that. We need to kind of balance. Think of yin and yang. If everything's yang, everything is kind of out of balance. We need women as our leaders and stuff. But we also need women as our spiritual leaders, getting out there and helping to empower women, and let them know that they have a voice. It's very important. So I definitely do feel that message. Spirit really wants the women out there. So I look at this, and this is the Dominion card, which can be the fork in the road. And I would say over the next 2 months, America is really at a fork in the road. We know who's going to get sworn in. We pretty much know. We'll get there. We'll get there. We know that's going to happen. But we are and the defeat still stands. Okay, this is the defeat card. The defeat still stands, guys. Okay, so if anybody's, worried that he, is going to get in and all that. But, the next 2 months are going to be very bumpy. They are going to be very challenging. But we're at the fork in the road. That's what Spirit is kind of saying, is you are at the fork in the road. What direction you can go here. And you've been at a fork in the road in the while. And, you chose, that you would go a certain direction. But we got to make sure this ship goes that direction, of course. And I feel like Spirit's kind of saying to the spiritualists, because it's going to be bumpy, guys. And you're going to get worried. I know you're going to get worried. And, there's going to be a lot of fear. You're going to see a lot of weird things. You're going to hear a lot of rumors. But especially just remember, we're at the fork of the road. And, America chose their president. And Spirit saw that. So, and you have to understand that Spirit has a lot to do with who becomes a leader. And that's what I told you guys. Just like with, even Trump. Spirit was still behind that because we had to bring a lot of things to surface. So we, certain things to surface. I bet some of you didn't realize how bad racism was in this country. I bet a lot of you did not. You thought that this was not as bad or over. Maybe people have some attitudes, but they didn't voice it. That completely 180'd, right? You weren't aware. You weren't aware. I'm going to pull some cards. But yes, especially, at that fork in the road. We're at that fork in the road. Let's see what Spirit kind of talks about with some cards here. But do not fear. I really feel he will be sworn in. I feel he will be sworn in. But there's going to be, of course they want to stop it and stuff. But that's interesting. This is interesting. Let me be quiet for a minute. Okay, let me actually lower this down so you can see how I laid them out. Because over here, I guess you can't see it. But I have the card change up here to this one. But underneath it, I have the word embrace. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? So below was embrace, and then above was change. So I wanted to kind of show you how I laid that out. That was completely accidental. So Spirit's like, embrace the change. Okay, embrace the change. You know, I also get the card flexibility. You know, be flexible during this time. You know, be flexible with yourself. Some people became very rigid in their views and things like that. And it's like, we need to be a little bit more flexible. Yes, we want to honor the truth. We do want to honor the truth and so forth. Truth is incredibly important. And I know a lot of you guys lost friends holding to the truth and so forth, or speaking the truth. You know, people lost friends, marriages ended, you know, various things happened, and it was kind of crazy. We also have the card passion, and really be passionate about America again and so forth. And then we also have the card desire. Now, desire is a tricky one because a lot of times people are like, ooh, desire is bad, especially the Buddhists, right? You know, we want to tame our desires. But if it's, you know, in the right direction for desiring the right things, you know, I desire love to come back into the equation, right? You know, something like that. You know, absolutely, absolutely. But we want to kind of look at our desires and so forth. You know, where are they geared? Where are they geared toward? Let's pull some other ones for like the starseed people. But it's going to be bumpy, and I really it's going to make you nervous. Some of you are going to hear, you know, things of a coup, but I want you to understand the Constitution is real solid, is very solid, and I'm going to trust that. I'm going to trust that. I know some people want to go against it, but, you know, I remember that came up in another read I did. Okay, that's a good one. But I see nothing, you know, over the next 2 months that I feel he's gonna try to do a little damage before Biden takes over. Okay, because Biden's gonna come back to a mess. So I do feel some things will be messy over the next 2 months. You know, there'll be a little bit of, you know, throwing around the furniture and damaging the china, the kicking the dog on the way out. There's gonna be that. Yes, he's gonna try to make it, you know, real hard and messy, you know, and stuff like that. Yes, that's what narcissist boyfriends do when you tell them to get out. Okay, but you know, he will be sworn in, so I do not want you to worry about that. So I want to kind of look at the card balanced forces. So this is kind of what Spirit is working on. The forces are beginning to balance. We dealt with extremes. Anytime with the yin and yang, things go in extreme, they have to kind of return back. That's what they do. So everything, you know, went to a very hard extreme. Okay, we went to a very hard extreme during 2020 where everything was just tower and chaos and destruction. And now everything is going like this. Okay. And of course, healing. You know, this is really important. And especially when we get into 2021, that is where we're going to get to our healing place. So things are going to get a lot better. I do not want you to worry on that. Now, one of the things especially is the third eye chakra. This is actually pretty important here, you know, and stuff. And as far as third eye, I know Aisha Sheba, I was kind of looking at her, that it's never really shut, okay? It's always there. It's always there. It's just maybe we need to be more aware of it, or we maybe need to sharpen it. But especially during this time, you know, really use intuition and try to see the bigger picture. That's one of the things that's really important, is to see the bigger picture of what's going on. A lot of people are just looking at the 3D. Look beyond. I love the endless opportunities. So I feel like we have so many opportunities to change things for the better. That is incredibly positive. And then I also got the Starseed Elemental. So get ready for the star seeds to really be coming to surface, because we're talking about that healing, right? So they really, you know, they really will be coming out. So, but yeah, try not to fear during this time. It's incredibly important. You know what? I want to pull Osho. I haven't pulled Osho. I don't think I've ever pulled Osho on here. Let me just draw a few cards from it. Just a few. I feel like Spirit still wants to say something else. Like, don't go yet. But yes, we're definitely at the fork in the road. That we have the potential to go another direction. We can go a better direction if we want to. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. I'll mention this. I said it in the group. I did do a post, but I didn't say it on video. As far as this voter fraud stuff going on, you know what happened today? I checked the mail. My daughter's ballot came back. She lives with me. Because they want to verify the signature. They thought they didn't quite match. And it's definitely her who signed it. But maybe she signed it a little bit different or something than what they had on record. So they had her fill out a form with her signature again. So people that are claiming voter fraud need to understand that the ballot people knew that Trump was going to pull something. So they really pulled out all the stops to make sure everything is protected. Having a Republican and a Democrat and people overseeing all that. They're checking signatures. They're doing everything to make sure no one can cry fraud. That's why these guys have no evidence. So if my own daughter's ballot came back, because they saw something just a little different on a signature, that should tell you what's going on. They're trying to make, uphold the integrity of the election. Okay, the ballot people. So we filled it out, and I'm going to stick it in the mail for her. And, but yeah, that's, I'm not kidding. And that really showed me, I already knew it was a valid election, but that showed me that they're really trying to be careful. So nobody can go back on them and say there was any funny business. Okay, let's see what Spirit says through Osho Zen. I love this deck. So I look at the Eight of Pentacles, which is ordinariness. And just look at that. Spirit wants us to take care of the earth. Look how peaceful that is. In a return to the ordinary. Everything has been crazy and it's been chaotic. But I want you to kind of look at that nature image. We got to take care of the planet. Get back to nature. Spirit is definitely like, I want you to get back to nature. And I kind of look at that. Yes, we utilize a lot of technology. We've got our phones. We've got this, that. But Spirit's like, kind of return to me. Let's get back into nature. And that really is the way to connect with Spirit. It really is to go outside. I love the card maturity. It's time to be mature adults here. And a lot of people have been behaving like bad little kids. Notice I say bad little kids because some kids are great. Some kids are great. Now I've got the nothingness card. Now this is especially about how we need to just kind of empty everything. This is what this makes me feel. Because this is kind of nothingness is a little bit different from emptiness in Buddhism. There is a little bit of that. That is actually the Hierophant, the spiritual teacher, just so you know. But that is also a teaching. There's a lot we've got to kind of empty. So that makes sense. Spirit would say that as well. And then we have the burden. So this has been a burden of a 2020. And I feel like Spirit understands, we can only take so much. There's that saying, God does not give us more than we can bear. That saying got real pushed, real hard on us. Okay, 2020. Okay, I feel America can survive it, yes. But, for some people, that may not have been the case. And then we've got the Miser card. Now, this makes sense. Spirit would say something about this. Spirit is a giver. I've come on video and I've talked to you guys about Jesus and the giving. It is more blessed to give than to receive. And a lot of people, Spirit had a problem with, America, like not being giving to others. Shutting out immigrants. No, you can't come here. We're going to build walls. We're not going to be neighborly. We're not going to take you in. Matter of fact, we're going to put your kids in cages. Okay, this kind of shit. We got judged for it. Okay, but Spirit wants us to get to a giving nature. And then I love this existence. Just look at that, how much peaceful. Why am I here? This card, when I see it, is just like that little person. Why am I here? What is the meaning? Pondering the questions. This is the time to really begin to ponder those deeper questions. Why did this happen? What am I here for? What am I meant to make a difference? Now I look at the Lovers card, just, love for others. I really just feel the Lovers means that in this particular case, because see how they're like connected and spiritual. To love people again, that compassion. Now, Eight of Wands, this is the traveling card. This has been the Corona card. This has been the Corona card. So we've got a little bit of that. We got to fight that together. I feel like Spirit is saying, that's not a surprise. I feel like Spirit is saying, we all got to get in unison. If you want this virus gone, you got to work together. You all been fighting with each other and look where it got you. Absolutely. But check this out, my very last card, past lives. We have lived many lives on this planet, and maybe even other planets, some of my star seeds. But, this is not your only life here. There's many, many lives, many lessons. So it's real important, and I definitely feel, things have been narrowing down, as far as, the planet, how much longer can it sustain humans, and things like that. I mean, I know Spirit will take care of us as long as it takes, but, how many more lives do we really have on Earth? I don't know. I don't know, what kind of, there's definitely been a mass awakening for a reason. Definitely a mass awakening for a reason. And things have changed very speedily, even over the last 20 years. Technology, obviously, all of a sudden took over and it's completely changed our lives and various things going on. And we want, we definitely want the positive. I guess I could draw a few more. I feel like I need to talk to you guys more. I feel like Spirit's like, no. just draw a few more for people. But definitely with technology, that changed everything. And then there's a dark side to it. There is a little bit of a dark side. There's the positive, connecting other people together, information. Especially if you wanted to learn about other spiritualities, it was at your fingertips. What I had to do before the internet, when I was on the spiritual path, trying to learn about other spiritualities and, to help with my path, what I did is I went to the library and I would get stacks of spiritual books. And I read from other religions and philosophies, and I was reading philosophers. I took philosophy in college. I took world religions in college. Various things, try to educate myself. That's what I did. I did books and stuff. And then, of course, when I found online, then I accessed all kinds of information. And yes, just like I was talking about past lives, Earth School. See, this is why Spirit's like, you got more to say. Earth School. Okay, so that's one of the things we have to remember here for my spiritualists, that Earth is school. Now, one of the things, like Dolores Bannon, talked about, she talked very heavily about Earth being school, and she actually believes that Earth is the densest planet that there is. When it comes to sending us here for lessons, we're dealing with, that there are other places that are not nearly as dense as Earth. But this is really where it goes down. Now, even the Tibetan Buddhists, the Bardos, that you could be born in the God realm and you think that the God realm would be amazing. You could be a god. But they feel that this realm, the physical realm, the earth realm, is more ideal because it's the place where you can become enlightened. You can't become enlightened in these other Bardos. Okay? Well, you could, but it would be really hard. Let's put it that way. Maybe I should emphasize. But they're like, it would be very hard and very slim chance. But if you come to the Earth School, to this Bardo, where you are right now, you have a shot at becoming enlightened. And then you can be free of all the karma and everything that binds you, you know, and you can have your freedom. Now, if you ever ask me where the Buddha went, I have no answer, except that maybe he became one with everything. But the Buddha, they will kind of laugh at you if you ask that question. So I have done that in past. When I was first beginning path. Well, what happened to the Buddha when he died? They just kind of laugh, and I understand why, but you probably wouldn't believe me if I explained it. So I've got, and this makes sense. We're talking about the next 2 months, weight of the world. Okay, so you're going to feel the weight of the world on your shoulders for a little bit, but give it time. Spirit is going to take care of that. And I love this. Your life is a canvas. So you're here on Earth School, right? And your life is a canvas. And it may seem like you do not have control. Now, there are some things, we know the serenity prayer. Some things I can change. Some things I can't change. Wisdom to know the difference, right? But you still have a canvas. And you have the ability to change your life. So, I know things felt very out of control this year. It definitely was. And everything. Now, for people who are like very nervous, because I've got that, this is exactly what we're going to be doing. I've got that wait card. Okay, so the next 2 months, we got to wait, right, for that new president. That makes perfect sense. We got to wait. But just remember, I love this image, by the way, if you could look at that. Just remember, Spirit has got this. Now, I've also got here with that longing for home. So some of you, like as I'm talking about Earth School, are like, but I bet there's a better planet. And there are some of you that feel you're a long way from home. So, of course, and you know what? We all kind of, people who want heaven and the infinite and various things, definitely you can feel like you're not at home. Like Earth is a home yet not. That will probably be accurate. And then double mission, light worker, starseed, serve the world by being you. So that's definitely, we got to serve the world. We're here to serve the world, and help each other. So I hope these messages were positive. I try to not go too crazy on my message, but I hope they're positive. It is going to be a little bumpy. Okay, I understand that. But I want you to remember that God is in control. It's so incredibly important to remember that they're not abandoning us. They are in charge. They heard our voice. Okay, they heard our voice, and thank God. Okay, so they know what the will of the people is. And Spirit has a lot to do with who is in charge. And I know you're saying, but what about terrible leaders? But, that's the thing. There is we can't always understand the plan. I just know that's the way it is. Just like when we had Nebuchadnezzar, and, the Jews were in exile, Spirit is very clear in the Bible that Nebuchadnezzar, or even Alexander the Great, Spirit, it is in the Bible. So there's a whole lot of stuff like that. But I hope you guys enjoy my read.